A New York jury has convicted former President Donald Trump on 34 counts related to falsifying business records in his hush money criminal trial. This is a massive story that may have wide-ranging ramifications across political landscapes. Joining us now in studio with all the details, Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman. Rick, you look good for not getting much sleep last night.
What's up, guys?
So what is the what happens next of this all?
What happens next is he's almost certainly going to appeal. This probably will get upheld on appeal. I mean, there were no obvious flaws. It takes a lot to overturn a jury verdict. The sentencing will happen June 11th. That is 4 days before the Republican convention at which the Republicans will probably nominate Trump to be their presidential candidate. I don't think it's likely Trump will face jail time, and the appeals process will not be completed by the time of the election in January. So we will have a sentence by November. So we will have a sentence before Election Day, but that will probably be held in abeyance until the appeal is complete. So this is the situation we're going to have until we have an outcome in November.
And Rick, you and I have talked about this time and time again, but talk to me just about what you think how this is going to play out with Trump's base, because when you take a look even at the fundraising, the campaign site, the donation site last night, crashing here after that guilty verdict.
So Trump is going to raise money on this. He has done that every single time there has been some intensification of the legal efforts, the prosecutions against him. There are 3 other criminal cases that are more serious than this one, just to remind everybody. So it's only going to make Trump more popular with his base. That's not the question. The question is, I mean, believe it or not, there are a significant number of undecided voters in the 6 or 7 swing states that are going to determine the outcome in November. The real question is, how does it affect those people? And keep in mind, most Americans were not paying much attention to this trial, if at all. So, people are going to be hearing Donald Trump was convicted of something related to the Stormy Daniels hush money case. They're going to be saying to themselves, well, isn't that old news? Don't we already know about the Stormy Daniels hush money case? And by the time of the election, this is going to be old news. So every take you want to see on what this means for Trump in the 2024 election, you can find it in the media today. The fact is, nobody knows. Nobody knows how this is going to affect the election. It's quite possible that there's some X factor that is going to happen in the future that will be more important than this. For example, if either Trump or Biden has a very public senior moment that's captured on film and becomes a viral meme, I think something like that could end up being a lot more important than this trial. Enjoy whatever takes you're reading this morning, but just keep in mind, nobody knows how this is going to affect the election.
And Rick, real quick, what about the Biden campaign's ability here to capitalize on this? Are you confident that we are going to see any sort of change in narrative or being able to drum up more support from what you're calling, obviously, the very crucial vote when it comes to
I think that's a huge open question. The big problem Biden has is people don't listen to him. He goes around to campaign events and he talks about the good things that have happened under his administration. And polls show that people are just not aware. He just does not capture people's mind share. So is there some way Biden or his campaign can capitalize on this through fundraising, through messaging, through some other way? I don't know. But I mean, we're going to get a test of that on June 27th when the first debate happens. And I think that viewership for that debate is going to be very high.
Well, yeah, and the first test of
that is not. It might be. It's not going to be a snooze fest. Put it that way. Everybody's going to be watching, holding their breath to see which guy face plants, or if Biden does what you just said, which is find some way to really get some traction against Trump on this issue.
Right. Yeah, it won't be a snooze fest unless one of the candidates falls asleep on stage. And the Biden campaign also taking its first jab here, putting out an email from their campaign saying no one is above the law.